You guys, I'm just gonna ask you this question straight up. Would you have believed me if I told you prior to the beginning of this 2022 NFL season, that almost a third of the way into this very season, that the New York Jets would be sitting, at least record-wise, as a top 3 team in their respective conference? Well, whether you would have believed me or not, yes, it is a reality, and it also has some people questioning if we're living in a simulation. However, regardless of what you might think about the New York Jets, and believe me, I have seen a fair amount of criticism myself regarding the quote-unquote luck and improbability it has taken the Jets to get to this point, I feel like too many people are too quick to jump to what might have gone New York's way to see the success they've got so far, rather than focus on the massive year-to-year strides of improvement that we have seen in this team in just a couple of games. Because what the Jets are actually doing, I don't think many people expected to see it, and to be honest with you, most of them still haven't even realized. One sec though guys, if you haven't yet, don't forget to like the video if you do enjoy, subscribe, and turn on those notifications to never miss another NFL video. Love you guys. We're going to continue to come out with brand new NFL content every single week as the season goes on, so trust me, you don't want to miss it. But anyway, to get back on topic with the New York Jets, while there were many different reasons to be excited about this team going into this year, ranging from their vast amount of free agency acquisitions to seeing how some of their newly drafted prospects might turn out as well, undoubtedly one of the biggest question marks, keys to success, point of focus, whatever you want to call it, was the hopeful and potential development that could be seen out of second-year quarterback in Zach Wilson. Because while there was obviously both positives and negatives to reflect on over the course of his rookie campaign, while it has shown to be very difficult for almost any rookie quarterback to be thrown directly into the spotlight as Zach Wilson was, it was still clear, especially when referring to the numbers, that some pretty drastic improvement was going to be needed in order to see team success. And with saying this, it should definitely also be mentioned that this is by no means a shot at the capabilities and promise Zach Wilson has shown, but more so, it is intended to focus on how an offense like the New York Jets must operate in order to see the most success possible. Because for a team like New York, which I'm just going to go off the top of my head in saying this, have one of the youngest core-focused offenses out of any team across the entire league, and just for quick reference to this, 6 of their biggest pieces are either rookies or in their second year in the league. This offense, at least I would think from most people's initial thoughts regarding it, should not be nearly as successful as it has been so far. Because after going from being a bottom 5 scoring team in the entire league last season to already being a borderline top 10 scoring team just this far into the year, and surprisingly enough, having the 7th best passing offense in the entire NFL right now, it has a lot of people questioning what is going on with this team. And while there are clearly many different reasons as to why this offense looks so much more dominant this year, I don't think many reasons are more crucial than the establishment of the dual threat within this offense between their pass game and their up-and-coming run game. Because Jets fans, while I know most of you were extremely excited with some of your early selections in this year's draft and guys like Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, and even Jermaine Johnson, there were definitely a lot of people questioning their next selection in running back Breece Hall, and may I remind you, just a year after stumbling upon Michael Carter in the draft, which at this point from where he was taken seems like a steal. Nonetheless though, it just seemed like an unnecessary reach for the position at this point in the draft compared to what the offense might need to get to the next level. And even though for the stat heads, it doesn't exactly look like the Jets' run game is drastically better compared to what's been seen in the past, not everything is always shown in numbers. Because of the Jets always having this threat to run the ball down opposing teams' throats with this running back duo and their improved offensive line, it has in turn opened up so many opportunities for Zach Wilson in the pass game, which again, to the surprise of almost everyone, is one of the top offensive units in the league. And if you want to go even further to validate the presence of this running back duo, both Breece Hall and Michael Carter currently sit as two of the most used receivers in this offensive unit. I mean, seriously, what we are seeing out of Mike LaFleur and the Jets offense this year is a living example of it ain't pretty and it ain't flashy, but it works, so we're gonna keep doing it until we get stopped. And then to stay on topic with the pass game, as we've somewhat transitioned into it, while Jets fans, rightfully so, are extremely anxious to see increased use out of some of their young wide receivers in guys like Elijah Moore and rookie Garrett Wilson, while again, how we've stated how effective the passing offense has been so far, and there's definitely been promise seen out of Elijah Moore through last year and even Garrett Wilson through the few amount of games this year, the possibility of actually seeing big plays down the field and trying to extend the ball through the air is probably something that is going to take more time than some people might actually want. Because again, with your second-year quarterback in Zach Wilson, who has definitely already shown his ability to improve dating back to the end of the 2021 season, with Saleh and LaFleur finally building their winning formula, as weird as it sounds, it's going to be essentially taking baby steps to see what else this offense is actually capable of doing. I mean, sure, their numbers could definitely be higher if they were used more frequently, but I would think that most players and even the fans would take winning over individual players' success almost any day of the week. But then to also cover this team's defense that we somehow haven't even mentioned yet, because as if they weren't already exciting enough to watch with guys like Quinnen Williams, CJ Mosley, Quan Alexander, LaMarcus Joyner, and even new acquisitions in guys like DJ Reed and Jordan Whitehead, they also, if you haven't heard yet, have the potential defensive rookie of the year on their team in Sauce Gardner. And for Sauce Gardner, who is obviously going to have relatively high expectations for being a top 5 selection in the 2022 draft, while yes, it's still been a short amount of time for him in the league, if you were still to say that he's lived up to all of his expectations and then some so far, that would be an understatement. Because so far, with being tied for 4th among all defensive backs in the entire league in total passes defensed, and while also just allowing a ridiculous 12 receptions on 24 total attempts through the first 5 games of this season, and the fact that he is still just a 22-year-old rookie is absurd in its own sense. I mean, if what we've seen so far is just a small preview of what he's going to be capable of, the Jets have truly found themselves a cornerstone for their defense for the foreseeable future. The way I see it right now, the Jets defense is looking better than it has over the last couple of years, and it's only a matter of time until the offense unleashes into the potential that they have been showing. But I don't know though, you guys, while I am personally extremely excited to see what will unfold for the New York Jets over the next couple of years, we're still just gonna have to wait and see what happens. But anyway, with everything that I've mentioned so far regarding the New York Jets, as always, I am extremely curious to hear what you all have to think about their situation. So go ahead and let me know in the comments, what has surprised you the most from everything you've seen out of the New York Jets so far in the 2022 season? And also, what is your final projected record for this team when it's all said and done? But again, you guys, if you haven't yet, don't forget to go down below and leave a like on the video if you did enjoy, and of course, subscribe while you're down there. As mentioned, we're going to continue to come out with brand new NFL content every single week as we go along in this season, so believe me, you don't want to miss it. But also, I just wanted to say thank you so much to each and every one of you out there for watching. I appreciate you all more than anything, you all know this, and I will see you guys in the next video.